Hi guys, David Tex here, and what you're looking at is a very, very sad story. All right, a new customer called me up and said that he injured his Les Paul. They had actually broke the head off. Here it is. Here's the head. And he went on to tell me that someone had tried to super glue this headstock back on. Now I can't see all the remnants of the glue except for some that were on the truss rod cover and some on the face plate. And I've been all through this guitar, this body of this guitar, the neck and the broken spot. But it could be that this is some of the remnants of the glue here, where the scoop is for the acorn nut on it. But look here. The owner told me the guy took the entire fretboard off. Alright, you can see where that gap is. And he says it lasted not more than a month before it broke off again. In the exact same area that the original had broke, right? Original break took place. What a nightmare this thing is. You know, to happen. Well, it's a nightmare to happen. Imagine that you pay $2,000-3,000 for a great Les Paul. All right, this is maybe 5 or 10 years old. This is the one with the push-pull controls on it. All right, split pickups. Nice, nice. And it's a real one. And it's real. And it's really, really broken. And that's just the sad part of it. And the fact that he had someone try to use super glue to glue this up before. It's like, oh my God. And I can kind of see the remnants of the back of the faceplate too of super glue. What a mistake that is. Anyway, what I'll have to do to add any support to this broken neck as badly as it's been broken is to come in here, use a microfine drill in 2 holes that I can put in some steel rods on both sides of the truss rod and run those through the neck of the guitar as well as through the head itself, match those up, then glue it up and press it in with some clamps, right? And the biggest problem is, where do I do that? See how much damage there is to this guitar? What I'll have to do is take some steel pull ties and pull them around his neck because he from splitting further, because he did glue up the neck, but he did such a bad job of it, you know? I mean, it's just terrible. Just, you can feel every single little crack in it, you know, bulging out, you know. He did replace some wood chips that had chipped out. The guy saved them who owns the guitar. But what I have to do is strip this thing down to bare wood and refinish it, because he wants it to look nice again. He doesn't want it just repaired now. He wants this thing refinished. He wants it restored as best as I can do. Now, I told him originally, you're going to see the lines of the cracks no matter what I do. That's just life, the way life is. All right. But the repair I do, right, if it all holds, and there's always a question, will it hold or not? If it holds, you know, you'll see these little dark lines in the where the cracks, you know, are, and you'll know it's been broken before. That's just near impossible for me, at least, to repair a guitar that's been broken this badly and just have nothing show whatsoever. Let's go to paint the back of the neck black. But I won't be doing that. I'll be using some nitrocellulose finish with some stain in it to try and match it as close as I can to this right here, this color right here. You can see the grain of the wood is showing through in these 3 pieces of wood right here. You know, these are 3 pieces. There's a piece here, there's a piece here. And you definitely see them because of the grain differences. When you imagine when you see these lines like these, you'll see those crack lines even a little bit better. All right, there's no way around it, you know. But it's just a crying shame that this kind of stuff happens. And what you're looking at is the back of it, 3-piece wood, right? I don't want to show you the serial number, but anyway, 3 pieces right here, on here. You'll see the differences in the coloration of it pretty clearly. All right, I think you see that pretty well. But you see a nice fine line on both sides of the 3 pieces. Well, that was done with clean wood. You imagine what happens when it cracks and it spreads. It's going to be a little bit worse than that, okay? It's going to be a little bit worse than that, right? But the trick is that I use a very, very thin drill bit, long one, using my Dremel and a Dremel stand to hold this in place, okay, and a clamp system. It holds in place, so I put these drill holes in here to insert those rods in. And I can only go so far, so I end up going right into the tuner. You know, that's not going to do any good. So I go about, this much down this, about a little bit less than that down the neck. Like I said, I'll be using steel pull ties around this neck to keep it in place so it won't splinter out on me. All right, so I'll do that, as well as when it's time to glue this up and get the fretboard back on there properly, because it's not on there anymore, it's still off. When I put that back on there properly, after I remove some of the glue out from underneath it as best I can, so it'll glue up properly again. You know, that's a big gap there, guys. That's all I can do. So I'll use some very thin knives, get in there and scrape as much as I can out of the old glue, and go from there and try to make this thing look nice again. Nicey nice, pretty pretty. And it shouldn't be that rough a job, but I'm going to document every bit of this, let y'all see what takes place, how I do it, how it's done, the tools I use, and the luck I have to depend on. Because like I said, doing these, guys, you got like a 50-50 chance of pulling this off, right? Because the wood is so much damaged. Now, if this neck had not been so damaged, right, all the way down it, right, the crack goes all the way down to right about here. Got me? And for me to drill beyond these cracks, that's impossible. This just won't happen. So I've got to support this wood while I'm drilling on it, so the cracks don't just splinter right up and lets my drill bit do the job instead of pushing, spreading it out. It just cuts it away. And to do that, like I said, microfine drills, Dremel tool to do it with. I'll be using a shop vac, little tiny suction tip on it. Got any wood while I'm drilling, and go from there. But I want to introduce you to this project because it's going to be a refurbished job, or a restore job, not just to fix it. We're going to try to restore this guitar, and I wanted you to see what kind of shape it's in before I started on this, as much as I can. And I mean, look at that. Jeez, what is this guy thinking when he did that glue in there? And he got all of the truss rod, acorn nut, and the truss rod cover is so smeared he pulled all the paint off it. The little decal ruined it. But that's no big deal because, geez, who cares if you got the thing right the first time. Of course, guys, the thing to do is when somebody tells you they're going to simply glue one of these up and it's broken this badly, all right, say heck with that, because it's not going to hold. I don't care what kind of glue you got, the pressure on this thing is going to pull it forward, and it's going to start getting weak. It's going to start, getting bad as you're playing it, as you're handling it. It's going to crack again. It's going to break again, and pretty much like what this happened. Now, it was a cracked neck. That's a totally different story. Cracked neck, because you can actually glue those back together again. Proper type of glue. It's a cement bonding type glue. That I've shown you before on a broken neck job I did. It's just about as bad as this one. But trick is getting the drill press set up so I can go, very straight down into that neck, as well as this headstock. Finding the best area to drill into, because I don't have a lot of choices here. I got to be in a certain spot, but where do I start? I got to start on this little part here, or the one underneath it, and on this one I think I'll start right about here with that bit getting down into this, and hopefully wood doesn't splinter all the hell on me. Alright, so I got this out of the box, dusted it off. I've only used it a couple of times. It's a Dremel. It's a Dremel drill press, and it's very precise. It will get the job done, right? And I've always been impressed by how it works. right? As far as, you know, like I said, getting the job done and being precise, okay? As well as being able to handle a very small micro-sized tool. So I'll start off with less than a 16th. I got some micro bits that I got on order. They'll be coming in, all right? Also, when I'm drilling, I'll be putting metal tie downs on the neck itself. There's a splinter on me to hold that in place. But the first big splinter I see, that's the end of that. I won't continue until that's stabilized again, all right? But the owner wants this back to original, if he can get it back there, or back to restored as best I can restore it, which means stripping it down. I was thinking about filling in these dents in the body of the neck. I still may do that, but main thing is, I explained to him, it will be a darker, you know, color to this. I will be adding dye to the lacquer to hide any imperfections in what I do, and try to make it look nicer. But I don't want to strip this down if I don't have to. But I just may have to strip it down and you know, encompass these big dents in it. Now, I won't be working on the body at all. He didn't want to do that, and it's not really necessary, right? But playing it, you see the body gets a pretty big wax. But playing it, gotta fix these neck dents. That will never work. As well as these neck cracks, which there was one more than I thought there was. I thought there's only 2 major cracks, but there's a third that as a hairline I didn't see, which really puts a real kibosh on this. But I'm gonna give it a try, because otherwise he's going to take the neck off, buy a new neck anyway. It cost him a couple, you know, $1,500. You know, might as well give this a shot, see what I can come up with. And the funny thing about this is, this guitar is the same as the counterfeit guitar I just bought. They came in from China not long ago. I could probably actually put this neck on there, and you probably couldn't tell the difference very much, you know, as far as what they look like. But it's all original Gibson. We're going to give this thing a shot, and if you'd like to see it, stay tuned. It's going to take a while. This is one of those good 3-4 hour videos that have multiple parts to it. So I thought I'd warn you from the, you know, from the start what's going to happen, what's going to take place. And the first thing that's going to take place is I'll be setting up my drill press, right, my little Dremel drill press, and putting a chuck up to hold the body guitar up and down, right? Putting metal brackets on the neck itself. Putting metal brackets on. Also, I'll be putting that metal brackets across here just to hold that in place, in position. Yeah, it's tapered. That creates a problem. I have to put a shim in there to compensate for the taper of it. But I've got to get those on there, metal or plastic, either one, so that just splinters fly out on me. You know, I see the crack widening, I can stop and back up, and not have a piece, you know, fall out on it. You know, but tragically, there's super glue in here, and these cracks, I can't get that out of there. As I crack them back open again and run the risk of splintering it all the way down the neck. But I'm really considering doing some stabilizing this wood so it doesn't further crack on me. But that could hinder the glue up in the future of what kind of glue I'll be using. It's like, you know, one of those catch-22 type things. Oh well. If this is something you'd like to see, stay tuned. The next part's coming up shortly. Any questions, give me a holler. Dave in Texas. Bye.